Welcome back to another rebuild here on Madden 24, and today we're going to be doing another fantasy draft rebuild. However, it's going to be where we have the fastest players. We all know when we're playing Madden that the fastest players are usually the best, right? We want fast corners, we want fast wide receivers, we want fast running backs, we want fast linebackers. But certain other positions, like quarterback, we do value that accuracy. For offensive linemen, we value the blocking and the strength, and pass rush, we value pass rushing abilities and block shedding and all that. So it's not only about speed, even though certain positions it feels like it. So I wonder, how would it go if we were forced to take the fastest players each round in a fantasy draft rebuild? Of course, speed doesn't play as much of a factor in Sim, so this could be a team that actually needs a lot to develop. Maybe the first couple of picks are good, but after that, I imagine it's going to start falling down pretty hard. Now, as far as how I want to address the draft, I guess it does kind of matter when we draft. If we have pick like top 2, we might get Lamar Jackson, because of course he's going to be the fastest quarterback. But after the top 2, where does that lie? Like, the fastest quarterback is going to be like some 60 overall. So unless we get the top 2 picks, we're probably drafting quarterback in the CPU draft. And same with wide receiver. We need a wide receiver pretty early, otherwise it's going to be a bunch of really low overalls. Same with corner. So the first couple of picks might be decent, and it could be a disaster afterwards. I was going to do a spin the wheel draft where you have to spin a wheel for the position and then get him. It could be like a freaking punter. But I wanted to first see if it was even possible to do this, let alone with a wheel spin. So if you guys want to see that one, maybe leave a like. Maybe 300 likes. We'll do one whenever it happens. Of course, quarterback is gone. So based on speed, Justin Fields would be the answer. I didn't think about that, but Justin Fields, Kyler Murray, and Anthony Richardson, you actually do have something going on there. Speed for the running back, you go all the way down to A-Chain. Not a bad running back, but still a drop. But if you don't go with him, what are the, you're basically stuck with Mostert until what? Keaton Mitchell? Because I would say Kenneth Walker, Taylor, and Gibbs would be gone by the time that happens. But we could also double up, take Mostert to get to one of these other guys, which would be a lot. But if you really want running back, that is an option. Speed for wide receiver, it's Jameson Williams, and he takes a while to go. So if you want a really good wide receiver, you might have to take Williams now and then Waddle. Otherwise, you wait a couple of rounds, Waddle's gone, and then you have to wait for Marquise Brown, you have to wait for Christian Watson, you have to wait for Hardman. I mean, realistically, Jameson Williams is probably going to be our number 1 wide receiver, and then our number 2 is going to be like, I don't even know, like Duvernay or something. Then we look at tight end. This is going to be Kyle Pitts, barely. So if you really want to go tight end, you're going to probably have to go Kyle Pitts, because by the time Taysom Hill goes, Musgrave might be already gone. And then offensive line, there might be a couple of decent names here, like Wirfs is obviously a great name, and Kendrick Green is not really a great name. I kind of want Wirfs now, because I like this value there at the speed. Sam Cosmi, Lane Johnson, obviously super athletic. Speed for left end, Montez Sweat, actually not bad. At right end, Nolan. If we want a right end, we can't get one. Like, we literally can't, because Nolan Smith is the highest speed guy. We're not going to be able to get to anyone else. Speed for the DT spot, Ed Oliver, Milton Williams, and then Jalen Carter. Oh, so DT's not really an option. Left out's not really an option. Middle linebacker, Papo. Let's see, right outside linebacker, Amari Barno. Cornerback, is it going to be Woolen? It is. Ooh, that is interesting. Free safety. Okay, so this is interesting. I actually don't know what our first pick is going to be. It might actually be Wirfs. For better or for Wirfs at pick 19. I mean, we just looked through everyone. I don't think there's a better value. I think best value is Tristan Wirfs, so we're going to be going with Tristan Wirfs here at pick 19. That is very high, but pure value-wise, he is absolutely the best. And then, of course, some things will change, but like we said, there's some that are just so low of overalls that they're just not going to change, because obviously they're not going to be taken until way later. I think that the value here is absolutely Tariq Woolen, but I am curious just to see the safeties one more time. So yeah, Tariq Woolen is 100% the best value in the next round, I think. So it's going to be Tariq Woolen is my second round pick. Like I said, first couple of picks might be halfway decent. Might have to think pretty tactically soon, though, as it is now the third round. Speed ratings, Justin Fields is still there. Running back, A-Chain is probably going to end up being our starting running back. And then you look at wide receiver, like we talked about, Jameson Williams, and then it just drops off from there. So This could be Kyle Pitts, but I also do want to get, once again, the highest value possible. We had Tyler Linderbaum is definitely a name. I would like to see Cosme go, but I don't think he's going before Lindstrom. And then Montez Sweat's not a bad name, as yes, you do have, Will Anderson, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to have to get Montez Sweat, and then Will Anderson is just not going to happen, personally. And I can't even remember when Kyle Pitts goes, but his value is just immense. So unless we're going Linderbaum, I think he's the best value, and Linderbaum is a lineman after all. So far, not the worst, but obviously we could have had so many better players than that. And then quarterback, it looks like it's going to be Richardson. I would like to go with someone else, but there's not really much of an option, right? It's between Fields and Richardson, basically, and Fields is significantly older when you consider that they're both like the same. And Montez Sweat was actually supposed to be gone already, so I'm going to be taking him, I think. 26 years old. We could definitely do better, but we could also do so much worse, so Montez Sweat's going to be my choice here. I need to get one pass rusher, and you guys seen the names. They are not looking great outside of Montez right there. Is Miles Murphy's not bad. Might even be the guy we go with, or Nolan, but none of them are guaranteed to be good, whereas Montez he's already good. He's already good. Linebacker we already looked at is just basically not going to happen. Cornerback DJ Turner looks like he might be our starter. Daxton Hill is up there. Do you pull one of the moves where you take 2 selections so you can get to someone else? Although I will say in this category, this situation, I think we would be doing 3 players, which is a lot to ask for. We do see that Lindstrom went, so as far as O-line goes, if we really want O-line, we're kind of coming up on those decisions right now. And as far as DT, this is what I was thinking about, going Milton Williams, then Ed Oliver, then Jalen Carter. So if we wanted to make this play with Jalen Carter, it would have to happen very soon, because Jalen Carter is round 8. So we would end up with Milton Williams, Ed Oliver, and Jalen Carter to make that happen. Ed Oliver's not bad, so we would have our DTs, because if you're looking at speed... No, that's not the right thing. If you're looking at speed for DT, you could either do that, Milton Williams, Ed Oliver, and Jalen Carter, or you can wait, get Solomon Thomas and Jordan Davis. I'm kind of thinking about what value there. I like Jalen Carter. O-line's nice, but if you get really unlucky and you have to pay these guys, is it even worth it? Do I go crazy? I'm going to go crazy. And I'm going to take Milton Williams, Ed Oliver, and Jalen Carter all in a row just to get Jalen Carter. I think if Ed Oliver was someone else, maybe I wouldn't do this. But I think because Ed Oliver is all right himself, it's okay landing, Ed Oliver and Jalen Carter. It's not great. We're definitely overdrafting, but it's not by a whole lot. I think Ed Oliver is around 10, Jalen Carter is around 8. So as long as Jalen's there, it was all worth it. And he is. So Jalen Carter's there. We have our DTs. But man, did we sell on some value. There was a lot of value at O-line, and I imagine that value is probably gone. Also, I lost Anthony Richardson. Nice. I thought he was around 10. I guess I'm an idiot. And pure value-wise, the best available player right now is definitely Sam Cosme. And that's who we're going to be going with. Sam Cosme is our new probable right back, to right tackle. That is an ultra sell, though, losing the quarterback. I really don't know if I see the value in Malik Willis, but as you can see, Bryce Perkins is a 54 overall. So if we don't go Malik Willis, we don't go quarterback. But obviously that's irrelevant because Malik Willis is a round 30 type player. So I think just because there's a very good chance that we end up with no one, you got to go A-Chain here. I think A-Chain to the Dolphins as well in general is the best choice here. As Mostert's going to last a long time, and obviously the rest, like Gibbs and all them, maybe even already gone, to be honest, would be gone before we have a chance. Look at the running backs. We might have just got lucky. As you could see, it's Mostert, Wangwu, who's there forever pretty much. James Cook's down there, but you're never going to get to him. It would have been a disaster if we didn't take him right there. We actually clutched so hard. Oh, we kind of got lucky. Isaiah Simmons. Wait, why is Isaiah Simmons all of a sudden faster? 83 speed or 93 speed. Should I have actually looked at some of these because maybe they're tied? 93 speed. Well, he's definitely not faster than Popo. He might be higher on the speed list right now, but he's definitely not faster. He's got lower Excel as well, so I can't even make that argument. What are we doing here? Oh, Jamin Davis. Might go DJ Turner because the value's there. What about Byron Young? 25 years old. Don't really need the pass rusher too badly because we have Miles and Nolan still waiting for their names to be called. JT Woods. Maybe go JT Woods. Oh, Jeremy Chin. Welcome to the squad. Could play linebacker as well, so we'll see. But Jeremy Chin, the value's there. I maybe should have went DJ Turner, though. I'm kind of just like assuming DJ Turner's going to be there forever, but he very well could be gone like any moment now, and I'm going to look like such an idiot. And because of that simple fact, I'm taking DJ Turner right now. So corners actually said the team's not as bad as I kind of thought it would be. Oh my lord. I didn't even do it, did I? I don't know why. I just kept looking at wide receiver, and I'm like, oh, what's the wide receivers are interesting. Completely forgot about Jameson. Although I think it would have cost us Jalen Carter, so you lose some, you win some. Wide receiver is really tough to get, though, so I definitely sold. I sold so hard. Also, I didn't even notice it, but yeah, Daxton Hill and JT Woods are the exact same speed. However, Daxton is better Excel, so while it screwed us out of Isaiah Simmons, it did gain us Daxton Hill. So the Excel, once again, screwed us over there, but it actually worked out in the end. Oh, also, we actually can get Evan Neal, 76, 77 for the speed of Mr. Avante Collins. However, Evan Neal is 76-79. So Evan Neal's also able to join the squad. We have 3 linemen now. And Cosme gets a stick at that guard. Clutch. And I just know I'm going to get screwed, but I'm going to pull Papoa, Troy Anderson, and Simpson in a row just so I can get to Trenton Simpson. I also do like Papoa, so obviously it's another one of those Ed Oliver situations where if it was gaining 2 really bad players just to get 1, I wouldn't do it. But in this case, I think it's okay. I'm okay with it. But once again, are they the same? Oh, Trenton Simpson's faster. I don't have to go for Troy Anderson. We're cooking. Nice. Once again, I think it's pretty obvious, but if you couldn't tell by what I'm talking about with speed, is obviously if they have the same speed, we would go to acceleration as a tiebreaker because acceleration is how fast you get up to top speed, which obviously affects speed in the end, which is why we're able to take him. Still selling, though, on the wide receiver position. Did I sell with Penning? Oh, Penning was number 1 for a second, so these guys must all be tied for 3-way as well. 76 speeds, 83 excel. That is going to be hard to beat. 76-79. Another tall guy, but, I mean, hidden dev's hidden dev. And then Deesh, 1 short. So if we do want Trevor Penning, he is all ours. And I think I do want him. Trevor Penning, new left guard. We're going to have the biggest line in the entire league. And I'm going to stop selling as Miles Murphy is gone. We need Nolan Smith to be our starting edge. It's pretty obvious that he's going to be the fastest guy. He puts everyone to shame with that speed. And I think I am going to be putting Chin at guard at linebacker. So I think I do need another safety. JT Woods probably going to play strong for us. I don't really like any of the linebackers left. And I also don't think Chin's zone coverage is the best. So I think he makes a little more sense at that spot. Ashton Davis is also interesting because he's actually a pretty good overall. He's 20. Oh, I thought he was 25. 26 is starting to get up there a little bit. Going to go with Jacorian Bennett as he is another really fast guy. 23, but super speedy. We have our 3 corners. Could go for more, but for right now, I'm fine. Don't want to lose Malik Willis because at least I have somebody kind of young at quarterback. I don't think I'm going to take him just yet, but I do have him on my list, if you will, on my mind. Do I go with Quez Watkins just so I can take Tyquan? Because Scotty Miller is a guy that's going to take so long to go. And look at the rest of the names. I think we're going to go Quez and Tyquan Thornton here back-to-back. Quez is at least somewhat usable at 25 years old. You never know. Like I said, you can get somebody that's like normal dev, back-to-back DevOps. Oh, did we really? Or did it might have glitched out. Okay, fair enough. Why does it show him, though? Calvin Austin, 95 speed, 96 excel, 96, 91. I mean, it's just not, I don't know why they showed him on the list. But Tyquan Thornton is our second player. But that also might have opened the door up, like we said, with that speed tying. Like all 95 speeders with Calvin Austin and 96 excel. So if we wanted to, Calvin Austin is ours. I think I want him to finish out the wide receiver group. 24 years old, but still a lot younger than the rest. And once again, I just completely forgot about it again. Lewis Seen can be taken because he has the highest excel. I don't know why they don't just automatically filter by excel. Because if you're looking by speed, you obviously want Excel, right? So if it's a tie, you would think that, hey, give me the player. Everyone's a 95 speeder, so we couldn't get Jalen Hyatt because he was 94. Yeah, that's not going to happen, unfortunately. What about Speed Musgrave? Not fast enough. And we don't really need to go for him just yet, but I'm going to take him just in case. Malik Willis will at least have somebody at quarterback that can at least throw the ball, and he's got some speed, obviously. That's kind of the whole point. Oh, we also have another name that just showed up, Anthony Schwartz, because obviously he is faster than most, but he didn't show up because he was too low of an overall, but now he's here at 22 years old. It might be time to actually finally develop him, because I could see Tyquan Thornton at number 1, him at number 2, just based on age alone. So that's actually kind of clutch. Added a new name. Adebawore, the super speedy DT. I don't know if I'll actually do anything with him, but that speed is ridiculous. And I don't care, I'm going to do it. Najee Johnson and Nick Cross, because I want Nick Cross. Imagine somebody just shows up right after I take him, and it's like, hello, Nick Cross. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think, is this a team or an idea that I would see as a viable one for a wheel spin? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. We'll see, though. Definitely seems like it would be very challenging. It'd almost be like, our Bison's franchise. And, of course, the Javelin Missile. I can't believe he's still this young, though. And why not? Troy Anderson, 24 years old. Definitely could develop him if you user him, but as far as, sim goes, kind of unlikely. Elijah Higgins, super speedy tight end. 89 speed, 90 excel. Taysom Hill finally went. Of course, Luke Musgrave long gone by then, but it doesn't really matter because obviously he's backup tight end anyways. But I saw him there. Why not? And, of course, that's why we went with Malik Willis. Bryce Perkins is going to be here for literally ever. He probably goes undrafted. I don't really need a backup running back. Trey Palmer, 92 speed. So you'd have to go Scotty Miller. No, you'd have to go Marquise Goodwin here, actually, which is, he's not bad. But I think I'm going to go Wangwu with Chase Brown. And we'll have our running backs there. Wangwu with a really good ability to run back kicks, of course. Assuming he is still there. Oh, he's gone. Wow. Okay. I guess Chase Brown's gone. Bad timing. Never mind, I guess. I guess we go Chris Paul, the left guard. He's 24. Just so I know who I have to start on the offensive line, because probably going to sim it soon. Probably go for a fullback, kicker, punter, and then maybe call it. Andrew Beck is the fastest fullback. I've had him a few times just because of that speed. 88 speed, 88 excel. It's pretty crazy. And then I know the punter. I just don't know the kicker. So Jake Camarda is, of course, the fastest punter. 86 speed is ridiculous. So he's going to be our punter. And then kicker, I'm not even sure. Fast kickers. I really don't know. I actually don't know. Fairbairn. Okay, how old is he? 29? Okay, I mean, I'm not really a fan of that. I probably could have just waited till after the draft, but we got him, whatever. And I guess I will go with Marquise Goodwin. He's really good for mentor, so we'll take our mentor tag kick returner with Wangwu. And damn, Darius Davis. If we get Velus Jones, we can get Darius Davis, actually. So we're going to go Velus Jones, and I hope Darius Davis is there. So more kick returner types. Darius Davis could dethrone Schwartz's spot. We'll see what happens. And Darius Davis is there with the highest acceleration, tying the 93 speed. 22 years old, ultimate slot, welcome. And yeah, at this point, wide receiver, in my opinion, is dead. And then 88 speed. I'm going to go with Alberto Kuebunam. Get ourselves another tight end. Barno, why not have a backup edge? He's been here for so long. Amir Speed, I'm pretty sure he's tall as well, right? Yeah, 6'3", 95 speed. He's definitely a guy that I would develop in a franchise. Raymond Calais is still there. He's probably still pretty young, too. Yeah, 25 years old. So why not add some more freaking running backs? Go with another edge rusher, BJ Thompson, tied with another one with 85 speed, but they did not have the 91 excel, obviously. D. Winters, okay, another youthful name, why not? I've been kind of looking at his name showing up higher and higher and higher, and then finally he is actually the very fastest. Ooh, an ultimate speeder, Kalen Barnes. Super fast. Took Hartsfield, who is the fastest free safety. And really, I should just sim the rest, but we're so close to the end, I'm just going to finish this damn thing out. Kyron Johnson, I mean, he's not really edge or coverage, to be honest, but I guess we'll add him just for the speed. Roberto Beal, 90 speed, 90 excel for Robert Beal. Obata, he's 31 years old, but he's at least a decent overall. And then screw it, okay, fine. Bryce Perkins, you can join. Oh my, he literally never leaves. That would end the draft, I believe. Oh, we get another pick. Yippee! Another pick. Trace McSorley, 3 quarterbacks on the roster. Why not? Unbelievable. But we're done. The draft is over. And we can see how bad of a squad we actually have. Oh no. Oh no, indeed. Here is the roster for year 1. There is definitely some upgrades needing to be made. Definitely center. Possibly left guard and right tackle. For sure quarterback, I would imagine. Maybe every single wide receiver, but running back looks good, left tackle looks good, right guard looks good, and obviously tight end looks good. And then more problems on the defense where we're probably going to have to replace at least 1 linebacker, maybe 2, potentially all 3. Safeties, maybe both. Cornerback 2, perhaps. Definitely not number 1, though. DT 2, perhaps. Right end 1, perhaps. And then left end, we'll see. Sweat is not the youngest guy in the world anymore for Madden developing, but if we can get into 90-plus finesse by the end of this, I think he'll be worthy as the starter for the long term. But yeah, it definitely could have been worse, but obviously it could have been so much better. So I think, we'll have to see how this actually does turn out, but I think this could be a candidate for a wheel spin redo, if you will. All right, some of these re-signings, I feel like I yelled, sorry. Hopefully your ears are fine. Obviously are a little bit earlier than we expected, but then again, that's just how the fantasy drafts work these days. Kyle Pitts, obviously, you give him a long-term deal. 7, really, you're on the fence? Please get off the fence. I just installed that. Ed Oliver, I'm actually kind of on the fence, and we actually not offered quite a bit, but we spent quite a bit on the actual draft pick itself. It's a very high selection. Maybe a 2-year 31? I don't really like that. Normally this is really straightforward, easy to decide, but this is actually kind of difficult. We also have Malik Willis, which I don't know how well he's playing, but so far as a team, we're not playing super well. But so far, pretty tame contracts. Maybe also keep Darius Davis and Papau. We're really close. We might make the playoffs year 1. Who would have thought with this squad somehow making it? And, okay, it's a terrible joke. We're not making the playoffs. They took so long. They ruined the payoff. Thank you. Thank you once again, EA. Can't simulate the final week without taking 4.5 years, huh? Man, they're always talking about how AI is going to take the world over. It would be nice if EA started with some of that AI. Maybe they can start with it. Of course, looking at the numbers, Malik Willis was terrible. I rocked with the Dolphins offense. Defensively, we went with Buffalo because we needed to go to a 4-3. A-Chain, $9.99. Okay, that's a decent deal for certain items. But not here today with 3.5 yards per carry. Did pay Darius Davis a 3-year 12, which he actually put up some pretty decent numbers. Tyquan Thornton was okay. Schwartz was okay. Pitts was not. Blocking 14 for Wirfs. Debatably the highest rated, maybe the highest rated left tackle. 3rd highest rated left tackle. Gave up 14 sacks. Okay. Defensively, I paid Oliver that 3-year 46 because he wouldn't take any less. Looks like a good decision, as he's going to be a superstar dev. Sweat, not bad at 8. Nolan with 8, really good. Carter with 8, really good. And then we look at picks. Some okay numbers here, maybe good enough for a dev up. Fairbairn was iffy. I don't know why having a bad team would affect his kicking ability, but apparently he's not a good kicker. Let's take a look at the yearly awards. CJ Stroud winning MVP with the Rams. Definitely a new name, which, I'm down to see. Looking at the award wins, we had number 3 and 4 on the list, but that's not going to get us anything. Trenton Simpson on defense, though, with number 2. We had number 3, and we had number 4. Best quarterback, obviously nowhere near. Running back, obviously nowhere near. Wide receiver, if we had some more touchdowns, might have been on the list with Darius Davis. O-line, we didn't have great seasons, but I thought maybe we would have had somebody over there just by overall alone. Number 3 and number 9 for D-line. Linebacker at number 8, which is pretty good for a rookie. And then DB we have at number 10 with Woolen. Best kicker, obviously not on the list, as we were like a 50% kicking team. Ravens versus the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. Ravens, decent playbook. Buccaneers, really good passing playbook. And the Ravens win by 1. Very close game there. DevOps, maybe Davis? Damn it, not Davis. So no one on offense, unfortunately. And then defensively, a bunch actually. Sweat went to Superstar. Oliver went to Superstar, Chin went to Superstar, Simpson went to Superstar, Carter went to Superstar, and I think that might have been it, but that's still really good as that is... Wait, I thought Jalen Carter is Star Dev. Did they actually update him to Superstar now? Or did we get another, like, weekly award / training upgrade? I don't even know. But Ed Oliver, Superstar Dev. Sweat, obviously got to Super... I hate when everything, like, clicks over one. Just let me live! But we do have the whole D-line debatably set, as Nolan is actually really good, too. Unfortunately, he didn't get the dev up, but if I could choose between him or Sweat getting the dev up, definitely we'd be choosing Sweat, because obviously he is slower to develop, so I'd rather have him get it. And then Jeremy Chin, Superstar, and I don't really need to show you guys Trenton, because obviously he won Defensive Rookie of the Year. Not bad. Not bad for a team also drafted in the top 10-ish, so have a chance at a quarterback. Also, had some dev ups, so there's at least some positivity, despite having a really bad win-loss season. But let's see if there's anybody we need to re-sign. I did pay, I think, everyone. Other than, like, Malik Willis, who, I mean, obviously I'm not going to re-sign him after the season he just had. Would have given him a chance, but there's just no point. And then Papo, you know what? I actually am going to re-sign Papo just because he doesn't really play much because he's playing, I think, right outside linebacker. So, realistically, I mean, we'll just put him there. If we find a replacement, fair enough. If not, he's a cheap backup that we don't really need to play that long anyways. We know the drill, though. Free agency, usually not great. Maybe you'll get a safety, a corner, something like that, which we do actually see a safety here, which I'm trying to think. Could use a strong safety, kind of. Free safety, I think we're fine, though, with Daxton Hill. We'll keep an eye on Derek Forrest. I think he fits more to maybe even play cornerback, as he, I believe, has pretty bad ratings for man and zone, but at least they're equal, so it makes more sense to put him at corner, give slot upgrades. Now he is pretty decent at zone coverage. 25 years old. Asking for a little bit of money. We're definitely going to keep our eye on him. It might be worth going for him. And then other positions, I don't think you're going to see much. Veterans and, you know, Alec Pierce, because he's always a free agent. Why is Alec Pierce always a free agent? It must be like he goes, like, really late, which means most teams already have their wide receiver room set, and then he has a one-year deal every time or something, and it just goes to free agency, because he's always a free agent, man. Literal Will Smith, how come he don't want me, man, meme. It just is. All right, right before the draft, we ended up trading Milton Williams to the Bears for a 4th-round pick. He was being offered by them a 5th-round pick and, like, Bilal Nichols, I think, and I was like, screw that noise. We are going for an actual draft pick, a little bit higher. It is now the draft, and we have a bunch of different quarterbacks on the list. I scouted 2 extra further to really know for sure if someone's worth it. But I will say there is what appears to be a generational player in Josh Ruiz. I mean, having an A finesse, A catch, A pursuit, B block shed, B tackle, but more importantly, a 4.49 40 with a great 3-cone, a great 20-yard of insane jumping. I would imagine he is a generational, but we need quarterback more than anything. We scouted these 2 further. It says they are round 1 grades with 1 to 2 talents, which means maybe their ceiling is like star dev. I should have actually looked at Tyler Jennings as well, but he was 23, so I was like, meh, I'll wait. We'll see what happens at quarterback, though, because we might be able to trade down to like 8, grab like a 3rd-round pick, and still grab a quarterback. First pick of the draft is Ruiz, so if we wanted that guy, we would have had to trade up. And as you can see, there are a lot of quarterbacks still, so if we can trade down to like 8, we might still get who we want and get some value. I don't know how the hell the Bears think that's a fair trade. Look at these trades. They're so bad. 4th-round draft pick to move back that many spots. Like, I don't even know if I would take a 4th-round draft pick to move back 1 spot, let alone these 10 spots that these guys are trying to move us with. And I already made the trade, but I was kind of thinking, I was like, is this even a fair trade? We ended up trading pick 3 for pick 8 and 83, and I was like, let's see if that actually is fair. Apparently it is. I don't know. I feel like that's really bad value, but apparently that's the best value we can get. I believe the Broncos do have Kyler Murray at quarterback, and they still go QB anyways. The Bears still go QB even with Rodgers on their roster. A little worrisome now because I'm seeing quarterbacks go left and right, but it looks like we will have a choice of our own, and I think I am just going to go with whoever the best looking of the 2 is. There's also a wide receiver here. He's not the best, but Larry Day, round 1, he's got a little bit of speed, and he's got some decent ratings. I should have scouted him further, but I didn't expect him to even be at this spot or later. A medium route with an A to C catching, C to release. He's okay, but there are some other good wide receivers. So I don't know who I'm going to go with, but I'm going to make a choice between Marshall and Benjamin. Marshall is the taller dude. He's 21 years old with elite throw power, very athletic at a 4.6. And then Steven Benjamin, 21 years old as well. Great throw power, a little bit slower though. I really don't know, but I think I'm going to go Brian Marshall. And he's hitting. All right, 94 throw power, 84 speed, 91 excel. He looks like a goon. He's like a taller Andrew Luck. So we actually got all the way to pick 3 in the second round, and our wide receivers are still there. Hartwell did go, but I had 2 other guys that looked really good as well. I don't know who I want more. Hutton was kind of on my list already, and then there was a lot of question marks with Horton. Horton is very fast, which tells me it's a better chance that he's normal than if he's hidden. I think Hutton looks like a true number 1 wide receiver, even though that medium route does scare me and short isn't the best. I like him enough, and I don't know what to think about him. 93 speed, 93 jump, 89 excel. If you watch our Bison's offseason franchise, he looks a lot like Morant. A little bit like underweight, but very similar in ratings. Man, I really need another wide receiver, but I can't really trade up too much. But we really need another wide receiver. But at the same time, if we're going to get a normal dev, I might as well just use Darius again. We could probably wait for Pryor. 2 A's with 2 F's. It's interesting. I do like Kennedy. I do like Horton, though. Kennedy with the release, another, true X-type wide receiver with the size. Al Horton, 22 years old, very athletic, but once again, these types of players are usually normal. If you get someone like that later, then it's like, oh, they're usually superstar. But he, I think, is going to be normal as well. I don't know. I think we're going to go to the next round. If the wide receiver Pryor's there, I think we take him, and if they're both normal, I regret everything. Pryor's there. Devon Pryor, please. Oh, that's a regret. That is just not good. I went to the next pick out of disgust, but I really shouldn't have. I really need an offensive lineman, and I bet you they're going to all be gone. We do have 2, 3 linemen. Centers are usually the safest bet if you're going to go on this. Oh, I'm going to go with Eddie Spriggs, I think. What about Denzel Godwin, though? Day 3, Denzel Godwin, 22 years old. A press. He's not the fastest, but I want someone to play safety. It's really down to who do I think has the better chance of being hidden dev. I really don't know. I like the A catch a lot. I'm going to go Denzel Godwin. Yeah, I had a feeling. I mean, maybe the other guy, Spriggs, is going to be hidden dev as well, but I just liked it. Oh, I didn't even see the tackle, actually. Or maybe I did. Was it on the front screen? I don't know. But A catching, I'm telling you, I feel like A catching corners are good corners. And, I mean, I'm not saying that proves it, but I don't hate what I just did. And I just skipped to my next pick because Church went, and I'd assume day 3 our guy's going to be there, but maybe he won't be. Okay, he is, thankfully. Spriggs also still there. Nick Rivers would be our starting center if he's hidden. He's not. I was about to say, actually, he's our starting center no matter what. And, that kind of sucks. I would have loved to see a hidden dev O-line there, but what can you do? Can't win them all. Then we went to the next round because I don't really have anyone I absolutely need. Considering we didn't grab a hidden dev wide receiver, I guess I'll take Cole. Still, no hidden dev wideout. Oh, my. And honestly, I might just trade up for that corner anyways. Browns. We trade all of this to move up into the 5th round. Don't need JT Woods in a 2-year contract, and we have safety upon safety. That new corner that we just got is going to be playing safety for us. And then this corner, who knows what happens here. Maybe he's a safety. Sheldon Devine, 92 speed, 91 excel. With B-man coverage, I think the value is there. Let's go and see if we made the right decision or not. There was no way I was taking a quarterback at pick 3, so I don't really care if anyone between 3 and 7 was good, because I was just never going to take them. And then wide receiver, we did have a choice between Horton and the guy we took. Hartzell I might have taken because he's 6'5", but he wasn't there, so it's a little irrelevant for me to be judging that. 74, 74, 74, 70, 73, 69, 72. 74 overall for a quarterback. That's okay. Very accurate short game. Very good throw power. Okay, medium and deep. Trigger happy sense of pressure. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing in terms of his odds of being a superstar plus, but we'll find out right now what his dev is. Sadly, star. Okay, we'll have to compare him to the other wide receiver quarterback. Don't remember exactly what his name is, but I think I remember him. He's like 5'11", I think. But Hutton, very good catching, obviously. No aggressive catch, which kind of sucks. Great injury and stamina. decent change of direction, and, once again, decently athletic. And then to compare him to Pryor, who we took slightly, well, not slightly after, but a round later, very good catching as well. Route running's decent, but release and deep route are very bad, which is what it said he was bad at. Very good, traits, though. Decent change of direction, decent juke ability. Then we ended up going with a cornerback, Godwin, who does have way better zone than man, and that is the facts. Very good press, though. Really good catching. Really, really good jumping. He does have 71 hit power, so kind of tells me that maybe they do see him as a safety. Don't know what his dev's going to be, but likely star dev. Oh, superstar. Okay, we live with that. I think I just moved into free safety, right? I did. So he's our new starting safety. Love that. And then there's really not much more to look at. Everyone else is normal dev, I believe. Greg Cole, kind of raw. Would be a fun player, I suppose, but raw. Let's take a look at the players that we missed on. Obviously, I want to see that Ruiz guy as well. Oh, yeah, he's a generational. If he's like 80, 81, sometimes they're star. He's not going to be star. 89 finesse, 90 hit power, 91 speed, 95 excel, 89 pursuit. Toughness a little low, injuries great. Swim move, bull rush, high motor. Gotta say strength's a bit low, so is coverage, but he's a generational without a doubt. 85 overall X factor. That is really something, isn't it? Tackle Jenkins. There was some other quarterbacks. We will take a look at Tyler Jennings. Didn't get to scout him because he was 23, and I figured, I don't know. Top 5, 23-year-old, I could just go for someone else. If there was no other options, I would have, but he's also star. It's just like you're taking that risk. 23 with normal, 23 with star really sucks. 21, 22 with normal or star, it's like, okay, well, they're young. Who cares? 23 is not that old, but at the end of the day, what's younger? That's all I can say. We have 2 years younger, which is going to be quicker development with the same dev. Brian Marshall, though, 85 short, 94 throw power. That's our guy, of course. And then what about, who am I looking for? 82 overall corner. This is probably going to be star dev. Don't know why. They just do this a lot, unless it's another generational, but they do that a lot. Corner, safety, those are the positions you get high overalls on. A lot of the times they are star. This time superstar, which is great anyways. What about that wide receiver? Where did he go? 80 overall, pick 11. Larry Day. Damn, he is really good. That route running's crazy. He actually might be a generational himself. That route running's really good. Star dev, okay, never mind. I really thought with that route running he was going to be that guy. The other quarterback went at 19, which isn't too much further. Hidden dev as well. Oh, wow. We probably sold 86 medium, 88 deep. I mean, he can't really be worse than our guy because we have star dev. Thankfully, he's not much better, though. Yeah, we kind of sold. That is something. Oh, well, what can you do? And then we talked about Hartwell. Would have maybe taken him. Don't know for sure, but let's see what he was anyways. Of course, 6'5" hidden dev. Really good release, really good short. Okay, medium, very good catching. Just the same speed as our guy, yet 3 inches taller. That kind of sucks. What's the dev? Star dev, okay. And then for the final player I want to look at, it is Mr. Horton, who went all the way at 15, 76 overall. And like I said, normal dev, kind of figured. Not much, but Calvin Austin for a 5th-round pick from the Green Bay Packers. All right, Season 2 team. Obviously, the team's looking a bit better, but offensive line, center, we could have done a little bit better. Left, like we talked about, left guard might need to be replaced. Right tackle might need to be replaced. And then wide receivers. Did we even gain a starter? I don't know, because I do like Hutton, and I do like Pryor, and I do like Davis, but will any of them develop with this scheme? I'm not 100% sure. Defensively, we obviously look like we at least have one linebacker for the future. Chin might need to be replaced. He's only a 76 overall. Going to that linebacker spot, definitely he took a hit, but at the same time, he doesn't really have a spot at safety for this team either. These numbers, these ratings for a linebacker look pretty good, but for a safety, it's lacking. I know he'd still be huge and fast, but it'd be lacking for sure. But other positions, D-line, like we talked about, likely set for the future. Free safety looks great. Daxton's zone is a little iffy, so we don't know about that, but corners look great as well. So we're in a pretty good spot, but definitely need another draft or two before we're really set. And obviously, we need a little bit of time with this rookie quarterback to finesse. We love that. 131 mil, and it's not been a great season, I gotta say. A-Chain and Woolen obviously get the contracts. Turner gets a contract. Evan probably because of the price. Penning, no. And I don't see anyone that we want to. Well, Camarda as well. Everyone else, though, is a free agent. We might outdo last season at this rate, and we will not. We will actually tie it a 5-12 season So far, one of our worst starts to a rebuild of any type, specifically a fantasy draft one we've ever had. I mean, even some of the ones where we have a worse overall team than we are right now, we at least somehow pull out like 6-7 wins. So far, can't get over the 5-win mark. Rocking that Dolphins playbook. Brian Marshall was still a lot better than Malik Willis. Rushing, definitely better than last season from A-Chain. Hutton, hopefully enough for a Rookie of the Year award win. Pryor, pretty damn good. Davis, not bad. Pitts, not bad. Actually, I'd rather have the quarterback win Rookie of the Year, but hopefully the guy gets a dev up either way. Wirfs and Neal better than last year, but still, especially from Neal, way too many sacks allowed. Sweat with 12 sacks, 8 for Nolan. Fair enough. Oliver with 7, a lot worse than last year, and Carter with 4, a lot worse than last year as well. Picks 2 across the board or less. Fairburn still pretty bad. Camarda got the contract, and he's okay, I guess. Should have at least one award win, right? Some sort of Rookie of the Year award, and Hutton does win it, even over Marshall, which is fine, as long as it was our guy that won it, and then Divine at number 2 instead of number 1, and that's basically going to be it. No, Sweat actually, best D-line, should go to X Factor, hopefully. And the winner of the Super Bowl between the Rams and the Chargers is the Chargers. Hopefully we had some dev up. Maybe even the quarterback, probably not, but maybe. Did not go up in dev. Hutton, though, that's pretty big. That's, I wish, something that I heard once. Goes to star with just his stats, and then goes to superstar with his award win. Very good wide receiver already. I was a little worried, not going to lie, a little worried about having two normal, well, basically a whole freaking wide receiver room as normal, but it looks like we may have found our legit number 1 in Deontay Hutton, who is pretty good. 80 overall after the first season, started as a 74, a normal, now an 80 overall superstar. Could use another wide receiver, maybe wide receiver 2, put Darius at 3 or Pryor at 3, whatever. Definitely going to be looking for wide receiver early, looking for O-line, at least 2 linemen, and then defensively, oh no, he was already a superstar, never mind. Maybe edge, but I think Nolan can get back up there. He's still pretty good. Jeremy Chin's an X factor, even though he's really not that good of an overall. Do I trade him off for like a 3rd round pick? I don't know what I can get for him, but we could definitely use better than him. So basically, to recap, 2 linebackers, maybe a strong safety, 2 offensive linemen, and a wide receiver, and I think we're in a good spot. Wide receiver might be our 1st round pick if there is one that good. But I gotta say, if there is an edge rusher that looks really, really, really promising, maybe I do replace Nolan. But I don't know. 5-12 is a very high draft pick to be taking a wide receiver, if not proven like a generational looking player. But 110 mil, I think we signed everyone we needed to. Penning, like I said, I was gonna let him go. Neal, we re-signed on a 5-year 40, I believe, and that's basically it. Let's go to free agency, where it might be a little bit better than last year, but I don't expect much here. Reason why I say replace Daxton Hill, though, going back to the safety, is his zone coverage. I'm imagining it's still under 70, which maybe plays corner. Even then, I don't think it's worth it. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Like, he's so good because of his overall, but 67 zone, 76 man coverage because of the hybrid. Can't really get the zone coverage up without manually upgrading them, and I can't manually upgrade them because I can't hold the XP. I wish you could hold XP for certain players. Like, hey, I don't care how you upgrade our quarterback or our running back or our wide receiver or our tight end, but let me deal with the O-line and the, and the cornerback / safety spot, because I mean, you can't, like I said. You just simply cannot manually upgrade everyone in a rebuild. It would take you all your life. But looking at free agents, there's some names, actually. Cole Kmet and Javonte Williams don't technically need either, though, so I'm going to be leaving those to the AIs. Gilman looks okay, but I think he does actually have pretty good zone coverage. I don't know if I like him enough. I'd rather just rock Daxton's overall. 88 zone is really high. I thought it was going to be like 84. 88 is significant, but at 27, his ceiling is basically reached. And I don't see anyone else. Oh, Ivan Pace, actually, maybe. I haven't had him develop ever. But 80 overall, I'm definitely willing to offer him. Pretty good coverage, decent block shed. Pretty interested in joining the squad. I think a 4-year deal worth 30 is good for both teams here. And we are the highest team, so looks like we will be getting him. Or what if we got crazy, sign Cole Kmet, and put Pitts at wide receiver? This is a doable thing. I think it matters. It comes down to if we can even get Cole Kmet. I don't know if he'll join us. But hopefully Pace does, and we do not get Cole Kmet. I mean, we'll see. If there's a really good tight end in free agent, or not in the free agency, but in the draft, maybe we grab that guy and then put Pitts at wide receiver anyways. Don't know what kind of drop-off he would have at wide receiver, but I'd say he'd still be a pretty high overall, as he's an 89 overall. There's no way he goes any lower than like an 84, 85, right? Pretty damn good catching. Route running's up there. Release might be a little low for a tight end / wide receiver, though. Well, not for a tight end, but for a wide receiver, and once he moves there. I think he can definitely play it, though, so not going to keep him, under the wraps like tight end if there's a better option for him to play wide receiver. I don't know. We'll see. Whatever works out, really. All right, starting the draft, I did not see... actually, I didn't look at edge rusher too well. Is that the Vikings with the back-to-back first overall pick, by the way? Didn't really look at edge because I was like, you know what? Nolan's an 80 overall. He's still playing pretty well, so I kind of just passed up on it. Don't know if there is like a good edge rusher or not, but realistically, I might just be trading down here. I don't like to just trade down and, accumulate all these draft picks for free and not have to worry about draft picks, really. It's just, I don't like that. But really, I want to grab a wide receiver, and there really isn't any, that day guy we would have probably went with if he was in this draft class. So probably going to end up having to trade down because the highest wide receiver is much further than from here. This is the wide receiver and tight end I have. I have the wide receiver Carl Dell, who is 6'4", kind of raw, right? B, catch in traffic, A, catch, C, deep route, C, release, 21 years old, 6'4", not the fastest, but there's some definite great ratings in there that I think probably make him worthy of taking. And then I also do have the tight end that I scouted further, Steve Delgado, round 1, elite across the board. I'm thinking I move to 8 or 10, and if Delgado is there, I take him. If not, I just trade down to 32 in the first round and take the 6'4" wide receiver. How come this trade's 45 times better than the last trade we got last year? I know we have pick 2 instead of 3, but still, from 2 to 7 for 2 really high second round picks actually is pretty impressive, and we might still be able to get Delgado at 7. I think he's worth it, I'd imagine, but if he's not there, then obviously it's kind of irrelevant. But it is a tight end, so I don't know if they're going to go this high. And he's still there. I guess I take the chance. I could still take Dell anyways. So I'm going to end up going with Steve Delgado. There is other guys, though, too, that are good, like Teddy Whitfield, who's 6'4". Man, maybe I don't go Delgado. I do like I could go Delgado and these guys, though. That's how lucrative these trades have become. I'm going to go Steve Delgado because he's a high overall. Maybe he has, X factor. 88 speed, 90 excel, hidden dev. It looks like, in my personal preference, my expertise, that Kyle Pitts is a wide receiver. Also, can we talk about how freaking athletic this guy is? 275 with a 4.56. Kind of absurd. Reynolds, the center, looks pretty good. We have a bunch of 3 to 4s. We do have a cornerback. Cunningham might be worth taking just as future protection and potentially, I was about to say play safety, but Ryan Mahone, interesting. I mean, at this point, I am kind of just pushing it a little bit. I'm going to go with the wide receiver. Even though we're putting Pitts there, I want as many options as I can get. Carl Dell, hidden dev. Okay, so maybe I shouldn't have drafted that tight end Delgado. I think no matter what now, though, we do not need a tight end, right? Cunningham goes right there. I might end up trading this down to the 3rd round for offensive line help, and then taking this, whatever. It's only a couple picks. Let's just take the safety now. Right, I think we could have this corner as well. I'm taking the safety, Ryan Mahone. We could use a starting strong safety, perhaps. Normal dev. This draft was going so well before that moment. Reynolds is still there. I'm going to take him. Hunter Reynolds, if he's not hidden. There we go, I was about to say, because, you can get hidden linemen in the 3rd round and beyond, so that would be really bullcrap if he wasn't hidden. And do we have another 3rd? We do not, but we could always trade up if we needed to. We probably have some value that we can trade. Do we go with an offensive lineman? I don't know who I would go with. Bigby, Gant. These are some very interesting names. Oh, we could use linebacker too, actually. Some pretty good linebackers here as well. I kind of want the tight end anyways. I'm taking DeMarcus Cadet anyways. And he is hidden. Only 84 speed at a 4.56, but it did say on left side it was great speed. So we're going to move down a couple picks, get an offensive lineman and a linebacker probably. We end up trading Jeremy Chin off for 75 from the Panthers, giving him right back to the Panthers, even though this is a fantasy draft, so technically not right back, but you know what I mean. Linebacker is going to be our positional grab. Jeremy Chin's ceiling is just too low. And yes, you could say, oh, he's going up in dev, so it must mean he's playing well. I don't think that's really how it works. I just think no matter what, you play those linebacker spots, you have a really good chance to go up in dev because of the tackles, and having a lower overall gives you less chances to win. And Del Worthy is also hidden. And with pace on the squad now, I think we have 3 actually developable linebackers. All right, it's kind of costly. We trade Rivers, Papo, 2/5 this, a 5th next, and a 7th next to move up to the Niners with this pick, which is going to be the offensive lineman. As you can see, Gant is gone. It would be really unfortunate if we draft a normal dev lineman here, but I'm going to take Bigby, I believe, who's going to be playing guard, I imagine. We also do have a 6'5 corner, which is very interesting, but I think DB is pretty set right now, even though that safety we took was normal dev. But yeah, that's going to be the pick. I think Bigby is the choice. A bunch of A's. There is a C. Run block, please. Yes, hidden dev, Worth. This guy's got a really weird build. He's decently athletic, and he's got a bunch of B's, but with a deep accuracy. I'm going to take him in the 7th round. Normal dev. I'm a little surprised. I actually thought he's going to be hidden dev because he's just so weird that it would make sense that he'd be like a special build. All right, let's take a look at these overalls. Delgado, 75 overall. Really? For a freaking top 10 tight end? This is why there's certain positions I don't like to draft in the first or high first, and that is tight end, and it is offensive line. Don't get me wrong, this guy's not bad at all, and I mean, he alone probably good enough to push Pitts to wide receiver, but what's that dev looking like? Because this kind of tells me, am I ever going to go... Oh, I was about to say, I don't know if I'm ever going to go with a first-round tight end ever again, unless they're like guaranteed generational, because that is a high pick for a bunch of mid. Let's be real. Carl Dell could have easily played wide receiver. What's his run block? Maybe play tight end. But yeah, I mean, he could easily play wide receiver instead of having Pitts move over there. We'll see what happens, because, you know, as much as I kind of already have the planned out that Pitts, that Pitts would be wide receiver, if he does drop significantly, like he is so bad of a drop that it just doesn't even seem worth it, I mean, there's really no point in moving him, right? Because that tight end definitely wasn't as good as we thought, and that a wide receiver was better than we thought. So we'll see. If Pitts is an 85 plus, I might have to put him at wide receiver anyways. I am curious to see what this tight end looks like. DeMarcus Cadet. We would have 3 hidden plus tight ends if we don't move Pitts, though, which is definitely saying something. Star dev, but yeah, he's slower, but in a rebuild sense, he's literally the same as the guy we just drafted, Delgado. Like, he's literally the same. And then Worthy, is it left out we need? I think technically right out, but I'm going to put him at left out and have Pace playing right out. Paid Pace, a decent... Nah, I think I am going to keep this guy right out, put Pace at left out, because we did pay Pace a little bit of money, and Worthy could always be replaced anytime for really no cost. I think it makes sense. And that's kind of it. The linemen will see their devs when they're ready, because we're actually just going to keep them at their positions anyways. Yeah, we can't do that. Pitts is an 80 overall from an 89 at wide receiver. I don't know why he drops so hard. Let me look. Catching traffic, spec, all checks out. Route running, all checks out. Release isn't even that bad. Jumping is up there. Is it lack of athleticism, like juke move and all? Like, why does he drop so far? Does EA have something built in the game behind the scenes that we don't know about? Because, like, there's no way he's that bad. Like, what does he not have better than Hutton? He's better at catch than Hutton. Where's awareness? Do they have that? Speed is 2 less. Excel is 3 better. Agility and change direction is lower, but I don't think that plays that big of a factor. Strength, 2 better than Hutton. Awareness, 7 better than Hutton. Catch, 3 better. Catching traffic, 2 worse. Spec, 3 better. Route running, at least 6 worse. Medium, 9 worse. 5 worse in deep route. 3 better in release, 2 better in catch. I mean, he has Hutton beat on almost everything. But then again, you do kind of look at it. Hutton is only an 80 overall, so he doesn't have him beat by that much. But I would expect Pitts to be like 84 overall. But yeah, I mean, there's no point. There's really no point. For Season 3, the team looks a lot better. Offensive line, we don't need to replace anyone other than maybe at worst Neal. But at this point, we do have him on a pretty long contract, 4 years for another like 30 mil or so. Putting Dell at number 1, because I'm trying to hope... Actually, no, he doesn't need the Hutton treatment because he's already a superstar, but Even then, I'm going to keep him there because he could get that Hutton treatment in the sense that he gets a bunch of XP and maybe goes straight to X Factor. Marshall, 79 overall. A-Chain, 88, who's, what, 24? 23. What are we worried about? He's a goon, 97 speed. That's got to be a couple of speed upgrades in there, no? And then defensively, Pace could use a dev up, and if he does, we have no players on this team other than Sam Cosme, who is an 87 overall anyways, that are lower than a star dev, which is really amazing. All right, a better season this year. Will it be good enough to make the playoffs, though? That's the question. Some of the heavy-hitting backup names are kind of shown up here. Fairburn he's been terrible, but I don't know, maybe this is the year he's doing well. Sam Cosme. We don't really have to pay linemen too often, so if we can get him around that price, I think I'm willing, especially with the 89 mil left over, and it would be nice to keep one safety, but then again, we have Mahone, and just not really playing. He's like the backup right now anyway, so maybe we let him go as well. Might be time to change the playbooks, actually, because we are going to miss the playoffs. 9-8 is an improvement, but it's still like, at this point, I kind of feel like maybe we should be in them, should be in the playoffs. But Marshall, 36-59. I think this is a worse year than his rookie year, no? It is kind of. It's pretty similar. His pass rating's a little bit higher, but it's hard to say because he did have those 200 extra interceptions. A-Chain finally over 4 yards per carry because his overall is getting higher. Dell is not going to be a superstar X Factor, but he did have some touchdowns. The squad just wasn't as good as last year. Left tackle, Wirfs finally, elite numbers, if you will. Only giving up 5. Sweat with 12. 10.5 for Oliver, 9 for Nolan, and 8.5 for Carter. I don't think there's much to change on the D-line, but 3 interceptions for the DBs and all that is terrible. Fairbairn, even with a really good kicking season like that, he is kind of up there in age. He's regressing, and I'm ready to move on. Better numbers, but I still think we could do better and should have done better. Dell with Rookie of the Year, I don't think that's going to do much for him, but it's better than if Hutton was the wide receiver one because you can't get Rookie of the Year. Chiefs versus the Vikings in the Super Bowl. The Vikings go from pick 1 overall, was it twice in a row, to Super Bowl champions. That is definitely something. But here we go with our potential dev ups. Anything. Dell was already superstar, obviously, and I suppose he's like right on par with Hutton. So we do have our wide receiving group at least. And then offensively, Sweat went up to X Factor and Pace went to star. So everyone but Cosme is now star or better. Also, don't think Ivan Pace went up in overall much, but he's a good player, and overall, the team's in a good spot. We just got to get to the playoffs and potentially the Super Bowl. We're just missing the playoffs for whatever reason. We're one of the better teams in the league already, and the game's just not really giving us a good run. So I might have to come off that Dolphins playbook. It's not been bad, but we probably could do better. So Sam Cosme didn't want to take the contract, so he's going to be taking a 12.2 mil tag instead. And everyone else I'm willing to let go. Chase Brown, I could probably just get him back in regular free agency for less commitment. Free agency, at this point, biggest need would be maybe safety. Wide receiver Jaden Reed would be interesting, but other than him playing wide receiver 3 for us, which we could do, I don't think we have a need for him at starting wide receiver. O-line, I think we're fine there as well. But yeah, it'd be strong safety, and that's kind of it. I don't even think we even need Jaden Reed, so I'm probably going to save my money from free agency. Sure, it'd be nice to have Jaden Reed, but I don't think we need any of these players. I think we're fine. All right, we still have a pretty good draft pick. Obviously, a little bit worse than last year, but pick 14, I mean, at this point, there's not really much we need anyways. Might go for like an edge rusher just to future-proof the team in case we can't afford everyone like Nolan or whatnot. I did have a pass rusher. I don't know who the hell it was. Was it Easily? He's 1 of 2. Scout him further. 6'2", 21 years old. Very fast. A finesse. I'm willing to take him. Yeah, I felt that was going to happen. Not our best draft pick. Moving on to the second round, pick 14, which there's still a really good corner in Max Hall. Could be another future safety selection. Linebacker. Don't really need that. DT. We're kind of pushing it a little early. Bassey's still there. He's a pass rusher too, and he could play DT if we had to. I'm going to take Sergio Bassey. Oh, that was a really good selection. That makes that first-round pick look so dumb. We trade Darius Davis and a fourth-round pick to the Panthers to move into the early third round, which I think is going to be a center who looks really good. Like, he's like a billion A's. If he doesn't have hidden dev, that is just the ultimate of scams. His name was... Where the hell is he? Chad Kiernan. So here it is. A bunch of A's with a B in there. And Dev, as expected, looks really good. We could have a running back here. O-line, like, future-proofing is also not a bad decision. We do have a DT in Mr. Adonis Dixon. Is he 21? If he's 21, I might have... Yeah, I might have no choice here. Athletic as hell, please! And he's hidden! Nice. That pass rusher was a bad pick, but everyone else so far seems to be great. And really, I mean, honestly, we didn't even have to go into this draft with anything. So, drafting some hiddens on top of not needing anything, that's just a bonus, really. We didn't need any of those players, but we got a bonus out of it anyways. And then if there is a running back, which there should be, A to C corner as well, though. There's some options here. Stamper also looks interesting. What about Otis Malone? 22 years old, B press. Could play safety. Don't really need a safety that bad, though. I'm going to go with whoever the faster of the two running backs are. Stamper, 21.449 versus Hardy, 22.441. All right, Hardy it is. Normal dev, 91 speed. Draft recap, is that pass rusher at least a decent overall? 75, 76 minimum? 74. Oh, my lord. Obviously, he's just a backup anyways. We needed the backup spot. 80 finesse move. Seems like a bit of a reach, but... Well, he was the only pass rusher available other than Bassie, which is ironic because, well, Bassie is on the team. 74 overall, and is hidden dev with, in fairness, less ratings. His power move and whatnot is specifically that power move, very low comparatively. But the big thing is he is actually star dev, so I guess you can argue who you'd rather have more because the other guy... easily, definitely could get a breakout pretty easily. Chad Kiernan, I thought he'd maybe be like a generational. Definitely not, but does still have the potential to maybe be like superstar dev. Just naturally it didn't, but you never know. Could have. I'm going to put him at tackle because if there's any offensive lineman we're going to need in the future, it'd be left tackle or right tackle. DT for Dixon, who is, of course, hidden dev, 82 finesse. I would have loved to have someone like this in our Bears franchise. Just kept selling at that position. Star plus with the dev of star. Here it is, Season 4. Haven't changed the playbook yet, but I think we definitely need to change it because this offense, yeah, it did better this year. Or maybe I'll let it roll, and then if we suck again as an 86 overall team, yeah, then I'll switch the playbook. But as of right now, I mean, this team looks like it should be good enough to make the playoffs, and if we don't, it's just the playbooks. That's the only excuse. I can't take any other answer. 150 mil. Jalen Carter needs a contract. Sweat needs a contract. Simpson needs a contract. Ed Oliver needs a contract. Nolan Smith needs a contract. Dax needs a contract. Sam Cosmi still needs a contract. A lot of money to go around, but I think we're fine. Fifth-year option for Marshall might actually be worthy in this case. I think, though, you might let Ed Oliver go in this case unless he has a really, really good season. Because he's 28, about to be 29, and his ratings are pretty mid, and we just got a hidden dev DT. We'll say Ed Oliver is having another really good year. But let's just get the players that we do know for a fact we want out of the way. I mean, I don't think this is great money for us, but long-term contract for Jalen Carter. Trenton Simpson, obviously a long-term contract for him. Definitely a long-term contract for Nolan, as he's actually played pretty well. He just hasn't really gotten just enough to get to that superstar status. Really? Okay, I mean, 20 mil per, which is not what even we've offered yet, is pretty fair. So we'll try to get that. Sweat, we'll do a 2-year deal. I think anything more and is just kind of dumb because he's going to regress. But even after all that, 74 mil left over. We could keep Ed if we wanted to. Gonna keep Daxon just because the value is there. And if we don't have anything better going on, we at least have someone ready to go. And then we'll go for Cosmi as well, since he is valuable. Just for some reason, he doesn't want to re-sign. I offered him this last year, and still it's not enough. It's almost 20 mil per. Come on, you're a guard. It helps when the rest of the division sucks, but we did do enough to make the playoffs. Apparently, we are the #1 seed in the AFC. How is that even possible? The AFC was some booty. The Texans, the Ravens, and the Colts all at 11-6 with us. I don't know how the hell we got a bye week with that. That is kind of absurd. That is probably the lowest bye week seed I've ever seen. Oop, wrong thing. The lowest I've ever seen. I've not seen a lower seed win, get the first seed like ever. What team was it again? The Colts, Texans. Who was it? I'm not even sure who it was. I think Texans and Colts and, oh yeah, Ravens were in there. Really bad middle of the season for that team. We were like iffy up and down the whole season. But yeah, bye week somehow at 11-6, which is nice. Obviously, I'll take, not having to play the wild card round because it's an extra game to potentially get knocked out on. Marshall, though, 30 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, the best he's had, 3,500 yards. Rushing, A-Chain, same yards per carry. Receiving, Dell was pretty good. Hutton, Pryor, and Pitts were meh, though. O-line, kind of back to where we were from last season. Oliver with 12 sacks, Sweat with 9, Carter with 11, Nolan with 6.5, his worst season yet, I believe. Tariq Woolen with 3, Simpson, Hill, Devine, and Turner all with 1. Bassey, the new Stardev kicker that I gave a long-term contract to, actually had a really good season. Punting, a little bit better than last year. Kick return, punt return game, you're not going to see touchdowns often. Offensive yardage, worse than last year, I believe. MVP goes to Mahomes on the Falcons. And as far as the award wins happen to go, nothing. Not a single one. But we did win the first round bye, and that is the best prize of them all. Unless we don't win the Super Bowl, then it kind of means nothing. Going against, who was it? The Jaguars. We're a 90 overall, they're an 84. Don't do it, EA. I know you want to. We have this season, and then if we don't win it this year, next season to win it all. We cannot be losing to the Jaguars in our first run. We just can't. Texans on the other side, which I've seen them actually win some things lately in fantasy draft realms, so I'm not going to feel super confident about having to go against them. Oh, we got to win this game first. Missing an extra point is definitely not helpful. Up by 10, fourth quarter up by 17. They miss an extra point unless they were going for 2. And in the end, a weird score of 33-16. Probably Scorigami will head us to that championship round. Take a look at Marshall, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 90% completion percentage, very good passer rating there. A-Chain was great with a 9-yard long, which means he was consistent. Hutton with 2 touchdowns, Dell with a touchdown. Looking at defense now, sack totals, 1 for Sweat, 1 for Oliver, 1 for Hill for picks. Kicking was perfect except for that extra point. And no, they did miss an extra point. I was about to say it must have been them going for it, but no, it actually was them missing an extra point as well. Maybe it was just the weather, a little bit of wind. Championship round. 11-6, 11-6. Let's see, how are the Houston... I guess, once again, it is a fantasy draft, but the Texans scheme. Is it a scheme with a dream? Where are the Texans? They obviously had to play a game because we had the bye week. Titans win by 3. Raiders, when they beat Titans, they beat by 3, and the Raiders, they beat by 2. So very close games there. We obviously had a bit of a lead against the team we played. Can we win it in year 4? Year 4 is a pretty good year for us. Year 3, year 4 is usually pretty strong for us. We usually make a decent run. Don't always win the Super Bowl, but a lot of the times this is the year that usually does it. And I don't know if it's just that's when, the projected rosters of like XP start to work out. But yeah, you can see on the other side there is the Vikings, who had won a Super Bowl. And then you have the Falcons, who have the MVP to lead with Mahomes. So there's no real winning for either of these two teams going into that NFC matchup of the Super Bowl. But I would still like to be there, personally. 24-0, 24-8, the Texans finally score, which did give them a chance at the 2-point conversion. But our defense cooked up and clutched up and did not allow more than 8 points. Jordan Love getting beat by Marshall, who's having a pretty good run here. A-Chain definitely not as good as before. Dell with 2 touchdowns, Hutton with 1. Defensively, sack totals, 3.5 for Sweat, 2 for Anderson, 1 for Aiken, 1 for Nolan, a half for Carter. And that's basically it. The Super Bowl, is it going to be the Vikings? It is. Who do they even have, though? Like, who do they actually have? Kenneth Walker, offensive ranks. They are number 1 in offense, 15th in passing, 1 in rush touchdowns. Giveaway. Wow, our numbers suck. So we're just being carried by the defense, huh? Because the offense is terrible, apparently. I don't know what else to tell you. They beat the Falcons by 14. They beat the... Where the hell are they? The Giants by 11. And then they beat... Oh, they had the bye week, did they? I was about to say, my vision really is failing me, but no, they just had a bye week. So the number 1 seeds going up against each other, which I know is super fun to see. But let's take a look at our DevOps. Quarterback, pretty good, right? But not good enough for Superstar, apparently. Defensively, we had Simpson go to X Factor, and that was actually it. So a pretty lackluster DevOps season, but not a lackluster game season, as we are now in the Super Bowl as a 90 overall team taking on the 87 overall Vikings, who have already won a Super Bowl. They had Ruiz with the generational first pick overall. Are they going to win another? Or is it going to be our turn? This one's for Dan, as the Vikings already scored more points in the first quarter than the last team did in the first 3 quarters. We get 7 back. Defense is doing well, but the offense is showing why those ranks are what they are. Huge drive, no score, 14-9. Defense is trying, but offense is selling. It is now with 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter, a 5-point game. Minnesota going to get the touchdown and the 2-point. It's a field goal game. 4th and 14. This offense is horrible. This is a little iffy. Oh, Hutton's wearing number 22. I thought that was just like a placeholder number. Oh my God. Maybe we do deserve to lose this game. Terrible release, but Hutton will do enough to get that first down. Marshall, his worst game yet, and happens to be in the Super Bowl. Love that. I love that for us. Terrible sim, man. Like, I can't tell if the Dolphins' offensive playbooks are bad or just like average. I'm leaning towards their ass, but I don't know. And on 4th and 10, a pick by Godwin is going to win us the Super Bowl by 4 against the Vikings. Kept it with the offensive scheme for the Dolphins. Once again, did have to change the defense. We did the Bills. I think they're about the most balanced you can get. It's like IRL Eagles almost. But we do have a lot of talent, so we did deserve some pretty good sim numbers, and we did get them. So I think 4-3-wise, Bills are going to be my scheme. I don't think you're ever going to get like 20-plus off of them, but you should get a couple of guys with some double digits or close to, and I think that's fair. I think it's fair. And, of course, offensively, I don't think the Dolphins are very good. But we did enough to win a Super Bowl. Sure, we had to come in on that 4th down, but ultimately, we win it all with our speed team in year 4. We've got so many year 4 Super Bowl wins. Probably the most common year for us to win the Super Bowl in the history of rebuilds. And there it is. Gotta love having a Super Bowl win. Marshall, not playing well, but did enough. Had that clutch touchdown drive at the end. Camarda had a 30-yard fake, apparently. A-Chain was okay, but did fumble receiving. You know, there's a bunch of average numbers. Sack total, Sweat with 3. 1.5 for Reddick, 1 for Carter, half for Ruiz, a pick for Godwin, which pretty much sealed the game, and a Super Bowl win for the Dolphins. And, I mean, not really Dan Marino, but it was for Dan. And as we head out, I mean, I'll show you guys once again, we didn't have any restarts and force win, anything like that. I am actually curious to see if you can force win but lose. I'm sure that it is just like, it only affects the sim, and once you don't sim, it throws away that force win. But let's take a look at Dell, the 86 overall, very young, high potential 6'4" wide receiver. Very good catching, very good short route, okay medium, deep route. Release is terrible and didn't really gain any speed, but he's very elusive for a big dude. Then we move on to Hutton, who is actually the first of the wide receivers we drafted, 85 overall. These guys are kind of going up at the same time. And he's a little more balanced. He does have better release. Only 84 short, though, with 72 medium, 76 deep. Once again, very good catching. Speed is definitely better. But, yeah, still lacking a little bit in the route runnings. A-Chain, we seen he was 97 speed. Did he go up any higher? He did not. 97 speed, 96 excel. That's probably the highest speed I've ever seen. Well, I say ever seen, but this Madden. 92 juke move, 91 change of direction. Very good. Nothing going for him in the trucking department, but that's kind of common. And I will have to say, Pitts is one of the lower overall Pitts I've ever seen, which is weird to say like that. But he's still a really good player. Just never had much of a chance with the schemes we've been running. And then we look at Marshall, the quarterback. Brian Marshall, 85 overall with pretty iffy medium, but pretty decent deep, pretty decent short. Obviously strong arm. I think he had 94 to start. Didn't gain any speed, I don't think. But obviously a very good player there. Is there anyone else I wanted to look at? Kind of curious to see Neal, though, because he never develops for me. Did he develop here as a power blocker, so more of a guard, but finesse block, specifically pass finesse block, is terrible. And then Wirfs being a 99 overall goon, I'm curious. Finally, the number 1 overall left tackle with 99 basically across the board at pass block. Pretty damn good run block. Athletic as hell. A freak. Just a beast. And then we move on to the defensive side of the ball. Worthy, obviously he's playing right outside linebacker, so he's not getting many snaps, but he's okay. He's okay. If he had to replace someone, it'd be fine because he's still young enough. Then we look over at Mr. Pace, who we just recently got. Finally seen him go to star. had a Vikings rebuild where he didn't go to star the whole rebuild, and obviously we only just got Pace, and he wasn't even middle linebacker. He was up there on the sub, but not number 1 middle linebacker. Trenton Simpson, though, very good. 92 speed, 96 excel, 92 pursuit, 76 zone coverage, 82 block shed. He's really good. 94 jump is freaking amazing. Then we move over to the rest of the defense. Godwin, who is not that fast, but really good zone coverage, 83 overall, 88 man, or not 88 man, 88 zone, 88 speed. He's not a bad safety at all. Very good coverage, just lacking a little bit in athleticism, but that's fine. Daxton Hill, I talked about it before. His man coverage is way higher than his zone, and that stays the same. 10 higher man coverage, athletic, but we really should find someone a little bit better that can play actual zone coverage. Woolen never went higher than star dev, but he's still a very good overall. 90 overall with 99 speed at 6'4", 83 catching, 94 zone, 77 man. You definitely want more slot upgrades in there, but once again, there's no like setting to what you want to upgrade or anything like that. So if you have it on auto upgrading, which, like I said, you pretty much have to do, otherwise it'll take you millions of hours to do rebuilds. You know, you kind of have the auto. So 87 zone, 98 speed, 99 excel for Turner. I don't know how you throw against this team. Sure, the man coverage might be a little low, but speed is king, and it is very hard to throw against corners that are max speed, especially when one of them's 6'4". Nolan Smith, though, a little bit of an average season as of late, but overall was pretty decent. 92 finesse, insanely athletic, great tackle. But yeah, would love to see that block shed up a little bit, and just in general, the sack numbers. Then we look over at Sweat, who did get to that 90-plus finesse like we were hoping he would. 92 finesse, insanely athletic. Then we have 2 DTs, Jalen Carter. Is he going to be a freaking run stopper? That's what I want to know, because we know Ed Oliver is. 83 power move, 87 block shed, 90 strength. He's not bad at all, though. Definitely is good, but we would be letting him go here for one of the DTs to step up. Carter, and as always, block shedder, even though it makes no sense because he starts with higher power move, I'm pretty sure. Either way, though, 84 block shed, 82 power move, 97 finesse. I will say, though, about Nolan, he's actually kind of mid now that I think about it, because he had 3 breakouts, which is +3 to his pass rush abilities, which is why his power move's probably decent, 73 power move. So, I mean, not bad, but without those breakouts, would he even be close to that finesse? Probably not, right? And that's kind of all that matters. I guess we'll look at Camarda, but that's basically it. I have a couple of other ideas for rebuild challenges in the future, so definitely will keep them coming if you guys are interested. If you guys have any suggestions of your own, maybe leave me a comment in the comment section below about what you'd like to see, or a regular rebuild. I know a couple of you guys have been suggesting 10-year rebuilds, Patriots rebuild. I've seen a Seahawks suggestion, a Steelers, those kind of things. You know, keep anything coming if you got suggestions for stuff. And that's about it. If you guys did enjoy, though, I'd appreciate it if you liked the video. Maybe subscribe if you're new. We do a ton of franchise stuff on the channel. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Second channel, PKR Plays and All-Man content. And, of course, if you're not new, I appreciate your continued support on the channel. That's about it, though. I don't know if you would have seen a Bison's franchise video earlier today, because I think we had a pretty steep like goal of 500 likes. But if not, then we'll definitely have one tomorrow. And if not, I mean, even if we did have one, we might still have one tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video,